Hello, I'm Joe Manganiello with your WDT News Week in Review for October 31st, 2014. Today's first story: the Multiple Pathways Initiative could change the way seniors graduate from high school. Catherine Clark Ross reported on Friday the State Board of Regents approved a draft of the initiative, which would establish multiple comparably rigorous pathways to graduation, including careers in technical education, engineering and mathematics, the arts, bioliteracy, and the humanities. This move appears to be particularly beneficial for Jefferson Lewis and St. Lawrence Lewis BOCES programs, as these districts have the highest population of students in career and technical education in the state. Jefferson Lewis Board of Cooperative Educational Services Superintendent Stephen Todd says that instead of a one-size-fits-all approach to education, there will be more options. The regulations likely will be presented for permanent adoption by the Board of Regents at its meeting in January. Elise Stefanik has widened her lead in the polls for New York's 21st Congressional District. Gordon Block reported on Tuesday that Republican Stefanik is now ahead of Democrat Aaron Wolf by 18 points, with Stefanik receiving 50% of the vote and Wolf receiving just 32%. The WWNY-TV Siena College poll comes weeks after a Harper polling poll showed Stefanik was ahead of Wolf by 8 points. In the time between polls, Stefanik, Wolf, and Green Party candidate Matthew Funicello have completed their 3 televised debates, which were filled more with political jabs than constructive debate. Funicello received 11 points in this poll. He has publicly asked Wolf to drop out of the race. The poll has a margin of error of plus or minus 3.8%. Jefferson County legislators are struggling to find a way to avoid a tax cap override. Reported by Dan Flatley on Thursday, county legislators are still sorting out the 2015 proposed budget, trying to find ways to avoid overriding the state's 2% property tax cap, but they are having trouble. The $260 million budget calls for a 3% increase in the tax rate. An owner of a property with a true value of $100,000 would see an increase in county taxes of $20 a year under the plan. While some legislators believe an override is inevitable and necessary, others refuse to entertain that notion and find it far too burdensome on taxpayers. Legislators will vote on the measure following a public hearing on November 12th. No school merger. Reported by Susan Mendy on Friday, voters in Canton overwhelmingly voted no on a proposition to merge its school district with Potsdam. After 12 hours of voting, 1,404 no votes outweighed 680 yes votes. The no's made up 67.4% of the vote. And our final story: a Fort Drum family is grateful to receive a service dog to aid their autistic son. Gordon Block reported on Wednesday 4-year-old Riley Van Eck now has a new companion, a German Shepherd named Gunnar, that will service him each day, helping Riley with his confidence, easing him out of meltdowns, and even helping him to get more sleep at night. Gunnar was paid for through the private nonprofit Army Emergency Relief, but the family was left with $2,500 in costs to bring the Arizona company's trainers to northern New York. The community rallied around their son, raising that amount of money and more through a GoFundMe page set up by the family within just 2 days. Well, you can find all the stories that we talked about on the webcast online. Go to WatertownDailyTimes.com or find us on Twitter at WDT News, and you can find us on Facebook searching Watertown Daily Times. Well, for your WDT News, I'm Joe Manganiello.